New information now. A traffic stop leads to an unusual incident between a Cape Coral police officer and a former Charlotte County deputy. Wake News reporter Taylor Bisaki is live outside the Cape Coral Police Department. Taylor, there's some people who are upset about this.
Yeah, well, according to the arrest report, a former deputy said he still worked at the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office, but an officer later caught him in that lie. How the incident unfolded is firing some people up.
Annoyed, upset, but basically, what can I do about it?
Lying to get out of a traffic violation. That's exactly what former Charlotte County Deputy Michael Burnett is accused of doing, and initially he got away with it.
Police oftentimes act in they're kind of like a club.
Burnett was stopped on suspicion of making an illegal U-turn. He told the Cape Coral police officer he was a deputy at the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office, and then he was let go.
I believe that they should be prosecuted just like anybody else.
After doing a search, that Cape officer realized the Charlotte Sheriff fired Burnett, therefore falsely claiming to be an officer. Wink News first told you about Burnett in August, when he was accused of allowing an inmate to eat his feces. Cape Police caught up with Burnett after the initial stop, but decided not to charge him with falsely impersonating an officer, but they did forward his case to the state attorney's office. Now many people are angry, saying if it were them, things would have gone differently.
Makes me feel like, how are they better than I am?
Now, Burnett did receive 2 traffic violations after the incident, but he was still allowed to go home even after he tried impersonating an officer. Now it's up to the state to decide what's next. Live in Cape Coral, I'm Taylor Bisaki, Wink News Now.
Cape Coral, Florida, a former deputy, fired for watching an inmate eat his own feces, could be facing a felony charge for allegedly lying to avoid a traffic citation. Michael Burnett was dismissed from the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office in August. He was stopped Wednesday night for making an illegal U-turn and crossing a median on the 400 block of Del Prado Boulevard North. But Burnett was initially let off with a warning after telling a Cape Coral officer that he was a law enforcement officer. But before the night ended, Burnett was issued 2 traffic citations. The officer who let Burnett go had some apparent hesitation about him. The name on the driver's license was familiar for an unknown reason to me, and I let Burnett go from the initial traffic stop with a warning due to him identifying himself as a deputy, the Cape Coral officer wrote in an incident report. After a quick Google search, the officer went after the terminated deputy, stopping him at the Wawa on 1622 Northeast Pine Island Road. Burnett told the officer that he was so accustomed to saying he was a deputy and that he'd made a mistake. Then, with the tickets issued to Burnett, the officer decided not to pursue an arrest or charges. The Cape Coral officer who stopped and subsequently cited Burnett said he decided not to charge the former deputy after review of the facts. The police department did not provide further explanation, but some Cape Coral residents, like Carter Shelton, feel Burnett was afforded special privileges. Police oftentimes act in a, kind of like they're in kind of a club, and they sort of look out for one another whether it's right to look out for one another or not, Shelton said. I think if I went around impersonating a police officer I'd be in jail before nightfall. Anne-Marie Zavislak, who lives in Cape Coral, said Burnett's case annoyed her. But basically, what can I do about it? Apparently, the fact that he was at one time a police officer gave him a free pass, and I disagree with that, she said. Rebecca French, also a Cape Coral resident, suggested law enforcement officers should set an example. They need to be held to their highest standard, period, she said. I would just like to see the law followed for all individuals regardless of race, religious background, etc. Burnett is not completely off the hook. His case was turned over to the state attorney's office, which will decide whether he will be formally charged. He is facing a maximum of 5 years in prison, according to Florida laws.